everyone, this is Amy. Welcome today to my channel. Today I'm going to do a flat brush floral design using a 12 and a 14 Amagic flat brushes. I do put the links down below as affiliate links if you want to purchase through those. And then I'm going to be using a number 4 round brush, also an Amagic round brush, and then my fine liner by Westonia. Paints I use once again are all FolkArt paints, using lime green and thicket, wicker white, magenta, and autumn leaves. And I do use both the enamels and the multi-surface, just depending on the colors that I find, the colors I like, and go from there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to dip one side of the brush into the wicker white and then the other side into the autumn leaves and the magenta, putting those together. And then when I'm not a big blender, which I should probably be more than what I do, but I will just come back and stick my brush into whichever color I want to add more of and continue on. And they can be 4 petals is what I'm trying to do. And you can separate them. They don't have to be right up against each other like what I just did here. Push it down, pull it up a little bit, and then see, I just want them to be not thin, but more of a rounded with a little bit of a tip at the top. Then I'll come over here, do the same thing, pull it up, down. If you have any questions or comments, please place those down below the video. Of course, if you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell before leaving. And know that my channel, and I like to try to remind people of this, is meant to be easy for beginning painters. That's the whole point. If it's too easy for you, then just use it as an inspiration and go on. And this one I'm going to kind of overlap here a little bit. And then we'll do this. Kind of goes off the side a little bit, and that's fine. And remember, this is my bottle that I just use for the purpose of creating videos, and I just wash off the design once I'm done. Now in my sample, I have some up here of the buds, and then I created some off to the side, but because I don't have as much room, I'm going to go ahead and put them hanging down this direction. And I'll just fill it in here just like I did the other ones. And do another one just a little bit lower. Little tip, and there you go. All right. Next thing I'm going to do, pull out my trusty old fine liner, and I'm going to dip it into the lime green, the thicket. I can even put a touch of the white, and I'm going to first of all start with doing the green around the little buds, or the big buds, however you want to look at them, and Get those all connected. And just take your time, you know, try to use the painting as a way of relaxing. And any of my designs that I show you can certainly be done on other surfaces. They don't have to be done on glass. I just enjoy painting on glass, plus it gives me a surface that I can just wipe off and go on and keep creating. But you certainly don't have to do these on glass if you would like to do really on any surface, metal, wood, canvases, whatnot. And I'm just putting all these little extra things out here because I'm going to create some little designs with them. And I'll come in here, through here, add, hopefully you can see on there. And do the same thing. You can pull towards, like this, or you can pull away. And it gives it a different look depending on which direction you're going. I just like to be loose with it and just keep adding. You want to add some white, make it stand out a little bit more. You sure can. Again, that's up to you. Just make it make sense. And I can come back up in here and add some white since I did down there. And remember, anytime I'm creating something, if you don't like it, then don't add it. That's all I'm going to say, is just, you know, leave that part off. I know I do a lot of leaves, and that's not for everybody. You know, some people don't like the leaves or as much, and some of you are like me and they do. On this part though, I'm actually pulling towards the stem, not away. And I'm going to come back in here, get a little bit of that, hold in some color from the actual flowers. So I'm going to kind of clean that off a little bit, come back in. I'm going to come over here and do the same. Again, pulling towards, making them different lengths. They don't all have to be the same length. I don't want them actually to be the same length. And just very loose painting. That's why I say my designs are just very simplistic. You know, some are a little more difficult, but there's a lot of things I could add to them, especially if I were doing it on paper. I'm going to kind of put a little wing off to the side here. Because there's ways like to flip the petals and that kind of thing. But on glass, some of it's not as easy to do, and if you're a newbie, I think that would really, might actually scare you off from being creative with it. So I just tend to leave that out. I'm going to try to come up with some new things for this year. My thing is put some relaxing music on, sit down, get your paint out, and be creative. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to relax you and it's going to make you feel good.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way. Work on that so hard. It doesn't always work. Again, just very loose. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is pick up my number 12 flat brush. I'm going to go into my greens and my white if I want. You can always add yellow too. Or you can just do the 2 greens, or you can do 3 greens and come up with using the third one by itself at some point. But I'm not going to do that right now. Alright, so let's go ahead, and there's a few other ones I want to try to do here. Let me see where I can put them. I just want to look for a second here. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this kind where I'm pulling towards the center. Pulling towards, I'm just on the chisel edge. And pulling towards the center. And I can put my brush down like this and make a thicker leaf. And this is just a filler. I can turn it around and add in some more white just to make it show up a little better. And just make it just another filler. That's all it is another filler leaf. And yes, I am picking up some of the color from the flower, and that's fine. If ever you don't like to mix them like that, then what you do is create them, give it some dry time, and then create it after you've given it some dry time. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing here. And like I said, you can lay your brush down different ways. This is something where I think is fun. If you want to learn how to use a brush, just sit down someday and use it in different directions. Like I'm using on the chisel edge here. I can use it flat, pull towards, pull away. There's just so many different directions you can do your brush, do with your brush, that it creates a different look, different style of painting, a different look. Alright, so let's go ahead. I might add just a tad bit into here just to kind of even it out. I like my odd numbers. And again, you can go like that. Tip it in. Just be loose. Loose, loose, loose. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, the same colors. And I'm going to come in here and just put in some of my basic wiggle leaves. I can keep the dark on the outer side. I can rotate it to where one side is dark, one side is light. They're both light. Just mix it up a little bit. And then, here we go. I'm going to do this one, just come over it a little bit. And I think on this one, I'm going to leave the light on the outside. Like that, but I'm trying not to go too much over the bud. I want it to show a little bit still. I want to cover it completely up. And we'll just put a few more in. I'm not going to do a whole lot of these big. I did more on my sample, but I'm not going to do a whole lot of the big ones on this. I just don't want to encase it all with big, and I don't have as much room as I did on my paper. That's another reason. And I might come out here with just one more, and on this I'm going to do dark on both sides and pull it down. Now let me go ahead and tip that in here, go back over this so my stem is a little darker. And then what I'm going to do just to finish this up is to come in with some of these, my regular, good old regular one-stroke leaves. I like them. Yeah, I just like to add, trying to think what else here. I don't want to cover up everything. And they don't have to be, you don't have to be doing this in 2s or 3s or whatnot if you don't want to. So I say I can go crazy with leaves, guys. I think you know that. I really do think you know that. I'm kind of do one here, do another one over here. Just do 2, and I think I'm going to stop with them because I could just, like I said, I could just keep going and going. I'm not going to do that. All right, so then I'm going to just come back through, and I got too much white on there. Come back through and do my little stems into them. And do it over here, up here, so I just have 2. I mean, you can do it all into these too if you want. You don't have to. Or just do them quickly and loose if you want. Like that. And again, like I said, you can come through here and do it if you want. I'm not really too concerned about that. The next thing I'm going to do to finish this beautiful piece off is take my number, was it, did I say 4? Yep, number 4 round brush, put it into the autumn leaves, and just come back in here and just kind of dip the brush in, like that. And I can come in here and do that too. I know a lot of these have more of the orange on them than what I originally had on my other piece. And then I'm just going to come back in with some white, kind of tip it in too. You don't have to have a lot. You can do a little or just play with it a little bit. If you need more of the orange, which I feel like that does, then I'll just put more of it in there. And then I'm going to come over here with the white, tap some of that in here, just so it can show up. And I could have used the magenta on this too, which would have shown up better because I have so much orange in here. And I'll just tip a little bit more in there. Just keep playing with it. Do whatever, or you can just leave them without. Up to you. All right. Again, very simple design. I hope you like it. If you do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And prior to leaving, if you would take a moment to share this on your social network with your family and friends, I would greatly appreciate that. Just hit the share button you find underneath the video, share it, and be good to go. All right, until the next time, thanks so much for stopping by. Please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.